Church. I'm here with a few of my friends. I'm Chantel.
I'm Rachel. I'm Mary.
And we're gonna play a game. So this involves any object from your house. Today we're gonna be using a soccer ball. So grab an object from your house and listen for how the game works. So basically, I'm gonna think of a color. Right now, I'm thinking of maybe blue. So I'm gonna say blue, and then once I do, I'm gonna throw it to Mary, or I'm gonna throw it to Rachel, and they're gonna say something that reminds them of the color blue, okay? So 1, 2, 3.
Water. The sky.
The ocean. Okay, and now we're gonna do another color, and Mary's gonna start us off.
Green. The grass.
Trees. Okay, we're gonna do one more color, okay? And Rachel's gonna start us off.
Okay, red. Apples.
Strawberries. Okay, that's awesome. So now you guys can pause it now and play with your family. Hey guys, so next we're gonna do the Bible story, okay? And so Rachel will be up first.
Hey guys, so now we're going to read from Acts 17, so if you guys want to open your Bibles and join us, that would be great. So it starts off with Paul entering a small town called Athens, and while he's there, he's able to meet with some of the people of the town. When he starts talking to them, he realizes that these people are worshiping an unknown God. And while he's there, he's trying to figure out why they would worship an unknown God and not worship our God, Jesus. So while he's there, he's trying to get a perspective of who these people are and why they're doing that. But also he's able to share his perspective on why we worship Jesus. And he's able to share our testimonies on why we should worship our God. And the people wanted to know what he had to say.
So Paul told the people of Athens about God in a way that they would understand. He noticed how religious they were, and he also noticed an inscription on one of their altars that read, "To the unknown God." Paul explained that their unknown God is our God, the God that made the world and everything in it. He told them that God does not live in temples made by man, and he does not need to be served by human hands because he does not need anything from us since he gave us life and breath and everything. He also said that God is closer to them than they believe, and that God made a nation from one man and is calling us to seek it. And Paul said that God gave us, in God we live and move and do everything, just as the people of Athens said that we are indeed his children.
So Paul really wanted to inform the people of Athens that it's not these false gods or false idols that are divine, but it is only God that is divine. And he was so urgent in telling the people of Athens this because he informed them that there was going to be a day of judgment where we're all going to be judged on what we believed in and what we do. And so there were some people in Athens that really did believe in him and took to heart what he was saying and believed what he believed in. And then there was others who, honestly, they made fun of Paul, they mocked him, they made fun of him and laughed at him. And you know, guys, not all the time are your friends gonna believe you, but some of them will, some of them won't. It kind of just, take it with a grain of salt. And I know that when I was your guys' age, I was in grade 5, and I had a friend that I wanted to tell Jesus to. And I told her, this is how you know Jesus, this is how you get saved, this is how you get into heaven. And she honestly had no idea what I was talking about. I was so excited. She had no idea what I was talking about. She kind of just walked away. And that's okay, that's gonna happen. And in life, that kind of thing happens. But just so you guys know, just be encouraged from the story from Paul that those kind of challenges are gonna happen, and to keep pursuing and keep persevering.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how he created us and loves us so much that he made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Acts, chapter 17, verses 16 through 34.
Wherever Paul went, he boldly preached the good news of Jesus.
This Jesus I'm telling you about is the Messiah.
Many Jews and Greeks believed in Jesus, but in nearly every town, a group of Jews would gather to oppose Paul. He and his companions were forced out of Thessalonica, and then later that same group of Jews followed to run Paul out of Berea. Eventually, the believers helped Paul escape to the coast, where he could travel by boat to Athens.
Tell Silas and Timothy to join me as soon as they can.
Once Paul reached Athens, he walked the streets of the ancient city, disturbed by what he saw. Carved and molded statues everywhere.
Statues of their gods. The people really believe false gods can help them.
In fact, the Athenians believed in around 30,000 false gods. Yeah, they believed these gods were in charge of everything from sports to sleep to doors and cleanliness.
A god of grapes. Okay.
While Paul waited for his friends, he visited the Jewish synagogue to tell Jews and Greeks alike about Jesus. And in the marketplace, he spoke to anybody who would listen.
You have to hear about Jesus. He was killed, but he came back to life.
Paul's words stirred up a group of Athenian thinkers. These men felt that they could achieve perfection through knowledge and wisdom.
Can you explain what this fellow is chattering about?
He seems to be telling us about gods we've never heard of.
We shall take this Paul to a meeting of the Areopagus. There, we shall reason it out.
Set high on an outcropping of rock, the Areopagus was the high court of Athens. And from this viewpoint, Paul could see all of Athens spread out below him. Closer at hand, the gathered Epicureans and Stoics studied Paul.
What is this new teaching you're giving us?
You have some strange ideas we've never heard before.
We would like to know what they mean.
Paul took a deep breath. These people treated new ideas like playthings, so he wanted to connect the story of Jesus with something they already knew.
People of Athens, I see that you are very religious in every way.
We are aware of this. Please proceed.
Paul recalled a small carved altar he had discovered while exploring the city.
As I walked around, I looked carefully at the things you worship. I even found an altar with "To an unknown God" written on it. Now, I'm going to tell you about this unknown God.
Paul explained to them that the true God created the entire world and everything in it. He created each individual person with a purpose and an adventure to live.
He did it so that people would seek him and find him, even though he is not far from any of us.
Preposterous.
Continue.
Paul knew that these Athenians might listen to the words of their own writers that might actually reflect something of who God is.
In him we live and move and exist. As some of your own poets have also said, we are his children.
What an interesting point.
Paul told them that people are God's children. God is alive and real, not some carved statue or molded from gold. And now by sending Jesus, God was telling everyone everywhere to turn away from the bad things they've done and to follow him.
God has proved this to everyone by raising Jesus from the dead.
Preposterous.
Fascinating.
More like fantasy. Get this joker out of here.
No. This is new, fresh. We will hear you speak about this again sometime.
A man called Dionysius had been among the crowd at the Areopagus. He hurried to catch up as Paul left.
I want to know more about this living God, about Jesus.
I can help you, friend.
So Paul continued to spread the good news and love of Jesus, and after a short time, Dionysius became a follower of Jesus, as well as a woman named Damaris and several others.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to Kids Church this morning. We really appreciate it, and we hope that we can see you guys all next week for Kids Church as well. We have a lot of exciting things to come, but don't forget this month's memory verse. It's from Hebrews 11:1. It is, faith is being sure of what we hope for, it is being sure of what we do not see. See you later!